All right. Good morning, everyone. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for my empaths. Let me just. All right. I asked what this reading was going to be about. And, oopsie. What I was told was everything is shifting and life is about to majorly change. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, probably in the background of your mind and your life. And these things are pushing you towards a type of change that maybe you're not ready for, a type of change that maybe is it, or is it my lipstick? maybe it's something that is necessary, but you're afraid, you know? Who knows? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. All right. How are you guys doing, by the way? Everyone doing good? If you're watching me on Facebook, please go ahead and share this out. Invite people. Not people who don't like me, but just invite people. It's okay if people don't like me. Just don't invite them to the live stream is what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. Oops. All right. Whew. Lots of changes. Hopefully they're good ones, right? Hopefully these are nothing but good change. Oopsie. All right. Here goes. Let's get started. Throat's already draining. Okay, here goes. Grounding. You're about to be brought to a place where you could call home, right? You're about to be brought to a place that you can't just call this home. It is your home. I'm wondering if it's home within yourself or a new home outside of you, like maybe a move, relocation, something that really will allow you to entrench yourself into your life. For many of us, we've been avoiding connections, we've been avoiding change, we've been avoiding so much, and all of that, all of your like areas of comfort. And when I say comfort, like the things or the people or environments that promote and support your avoidance of yourself, that's going to be taken away. Okay. So that's, I need to drink. It's making me nervous. It's making me nervous. So I need to drink. Okay. Hold on. All right. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Autumn is upside down. So I'm wondering if like, okay, so here's thoughts that are going through my head. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right? That's what they say. Now, this is the watchtower of the west. Your exit from the way the day, the metaphoric day has gone, it might be a little bit upside down. It might be full of stress. It might be something that causes you to worry, causes you to feel more chaotic. Hang in there. Hang in there. It's simply just the end of a day, a metaphoric day. Okay. Yeah, it's matcha. Matcha. And here's the thing, this is beautiful. This is very, very beautiful. Summer over here, it's going to be good. Okay. Once you leave this behind, whatever this is, you're entering into something much, much better. Something, a place where you have all the sunflowers around you. And the sunflowers are the people, the circumstance that creates like a bright spot in your life when there's no sunshine. Okay. So that's a good thing. Clearance, clearing away all the things that are needing to be cleared away, all of the old belief structures, all of the old coping mechanisms, just really old things. Like for me personally, I realized that I was still basically holding on to old thought patterns, thought patterns that I don't really verbalize. I don't share it with people, so nobody knows I think that way. And it's towards myself, not towards other people. So that's the main component. This shifting of the way you see yourself, the way you see your life unfold, the way you choose to believe what you deserve. Does that make sense? Excuse me. Ancestors, remembrance in reverse. There are some things that happened in the past that probably should just be forgotten, you know? Well, maybe not forgotten, but just left alone. There are some things that probably just need to be left alone. You can hold on to the memories of it. You can hold on to the good times of whatever that is, but you have to stop living there. You have to stop living in that space of um, moments that are already gone. Does it make sense? Like, so many of us live in the past and we keep trying to bring the past into our present. We keep trying to create um, a sense of hope from something expired. And eh, I don't know how much you can actually manifest if you're using things that are outdated. For example, you're trying to bake a cake, right? You have a wonderful event, a wonderful celebration coming up, and you're trying to bake a cake, but your cake mix is something from 10 years ago. I don't know how that's going to taste. um, I don't know how that's going to taste. You know what I mean? Like it might bake, it might rise in the cake pan. You might be able to frost it, but is it edible? Especially if the cake mix in the sealed container has green flakes in it. I'm pretty sure that's mold, right? Pretty sure of it. You can dress anything up, but it's still the same thing at the end of the day. Back when I was a photographer, um, one of my photographer friends is like, you can't edit a turd, right? He was talking about another photographer. I'm just like, this is extreme. Like the way you're portraying it is extreme. He's like, you can't shine a turd. You can't make a turd into something that it's not, like a non-turd. He's like, you can gild it. You can bronze that biznatch, right? You can bronze dip the turd. It's still a turd. It's still a turd. I mean, some people might be like, "Oh my god, that's such beautiful golden gilding on a turd." I was like, "Isn't it a very sobering illustration? Like a turd is a turd is a turd." Now, if you bronze it, that's it. That's all it is. It's a bronzed, forever frozen turd. If you allow it to remain in its natural state and you allow yourself to basically see it for what it is, you can begin applying it in the ways it can be applied. So, for some turds, I know this is so graphic. For some turds, some, not all, some people think that you can use all um, turds as fertilizer. You cannot. You cannot. You can use herbivore turds as fertilizer, but it has to go through a process, right? It has to first be allowed to decompose, be heated to the right temperature naturally, allow the malignant bacteria, microbes to die off because of that heat, and the beneficial microbes to flourish because of that heat, right? You feel like someone burned that bridge with you. That's the heat that's going to percolate. It's going to percolate the doo doo. Okay. Now, if you're going to bronze that doo doo, whether it percolates or not, that's it. That's it. It's frozen in time. And I think for many of us, we've gone ahead and we've bronzed this turd of a memory. We won't allow it to transform into something else. Your life is transforming right now. You are transforming right now. And I think for many of us, the reason that we're struggling so intensely in life is because we're fighting our own transformation. Have you ever heard of a butterfly still within its chrysalis, not yet a butterfly, no longer a caterpillar, um, fighting the chrysalis? Have you ever heard of a partially transformed butterfly complaining that it's confined, that there's no one around, that it has to go through this thing all by itself, and how unfair? And, not trying to antagonize, chastise, or be condescending to people who have that mindset. That's a very common mindset. But when you allow yourself to truly hear the words that I'm saying, you begin to understand how unfair you have been for your own process with yourself. Because really, so many of us who would be unfair with ourselves would not be unfair with other people. Like if you were to see that they indeed are that partially formed butterfly in that chrysalis and they're struggling and fighting it, you would hold space for them. You would sit there and tell them, hey, you're just in a process. It's okay. You are supported, but this is just the part that you have to do alone. We're all still right here. After you're done with that part, join us. We're holding this space for you. Why can't we do that for ourselves? I find myself lately retreating back into my shell, right? I was thinking about it this morning in the shower, and I'm like, I find myself retreating back into my shell. What is going on with me? I've already exited the shell. Why am I going back into the shell? I do not have the time or the luxury to go through another cycle like this. I'm trying to do all of these different projects. Those projects are not being accomplished with or achieved, completed with a level of efficiency that I believe I deserve. And then, I realized, like, what am I doing? I exited out of that cycle too. That cycle where I kept myself on this very strict program of overworking, overdoing, overthinking, over everything except over loving myself. Mm, 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 mm. Everything except over loving. So then I just got quiet and I washed my hair a third time. And I used the extra rich conditioner, and I was just like, "You know what? Today is gonna unfold in the way that it's gonna unfold. I'm going to embrace every moment. My heart is at peace. I live in a place of peace. Everything will be perfectly fine. It might not be in the way that I dictate, but here's the thing, I'm gonna choose not to dictate anything today. I'm gonna be in a state of flow and watch my life unfold. I'm not gonna have any expectations of how today will unfold. I will just have this blind knowing and trust it will unfold in the way that is most beautiful and most supportive for the growth I am experiencing, even if I don't know what that growth is yet." And so that's where I'm at today. Kind of just I'm in a flow. I don't have any expectations outside of this. The only expectation I have Everything that is for my greatest good is what will happen for me today. I have these different options that are presented, and I will allow the options to ripen. And whichever floral essence I'm drawn to is the one that I will walk towards. I don't need to see the flower in advance. I don't need to know the ins and outs of the horticulture of that specific um, type of flower. I will just go towards whatever my soul is drawn to, and I will explore that. When things change and you try and overly control it, if you don't know which direction you're supposed to go, why are you grabbing the wheel from your own soul? Right? It's kind of like, ooh, I get this visual of being on a mountain road. I always end up living on mountains, right? I see myself driving through this mountain road, and they're usually 2 lanes, 2 lanes, right? And they're usually like curvy roads, sheer drop-offs, cliffs, you know, all sorts of really questionable areas. And I mean, I can't even imagine what would happen if my soul was driving us through that and I just randomly grabbed the wheel. Like, wow. And then we wonder why catastrophic things happen for us. Catastrophic levels of disappointment. Stop grabbing the wheel. Your soul knows exactly where to go. There is this one road that it's a highway, and you take it to go from like Denver to Durango in Colorado. Y'all, you've been driving through this mountain with narrow roads that winds and everything. And then as you think you're like almost done, it is literally a hairpin turn. Like it goes, and I'm just like, oh my God, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. It can be something enjoyable, or it can be something absolutely terrifying. Whatever your journey is, if you don't know the end destination, and for those who are going to say, I know exactly where I'm going, I beg to differ. Someone needs to love you enough right now to let you know you don't know everything about your life yet. You just don't. Neither do I. It's okay to not know. It doesn't mean you're less than. It just means you now loving yourself to the point where you can be honest with you. I don't know where my life is going. I don't know when it's going to get to where it's going. I just know that I have to show up in every moment and be truly present for myself. Really allow myself to hold this space for myself and honor the people, be grateful for the people who can do this right along with me. Life is a beautiful, beautiful journey. It's not just an end destination. When you live your life as though it's simply an end destination, you know what happens when you get to the end destination? The journey's done. That's death. Death of the person you know yourself to be. And unless you're comfortable with that, I would just be in it for the ride up until you get to that end destination. And then hopefully your perception has ripened enough through that adventure that you see that end destination is nothing but the precursor to a new beginning. This can be literal death. It can be ego death, shadow death. It can be all sorts of different endings. What I always remind myself is an ending is nothing but a precursor to a new beginning. You can't have a new beginning if something doesn't first end. You cannot have a new beginning if something doesn't first end. And that's just that, right? Initiation in reverse. So this is basically us being called out for shrinking back, retreating back into our shells. That is okay. You don't always have to be fully exposed all the way out there. You don't always have to. Okay, it's like the ebb and flow. this rising and falling and rising and falling. And what is that? What am I verbally describing? A heartbeat. If you've never seen a graph depiction of a heartbeat, it is nothing but a series of rise and fall, very rhythmic. Sometimes it speeds up, sometimes it slows down. For every rise, there will be a dip. For every dip, there will be a rise after the dip is done. And we can't make this something where you want this straight line. Like it just has to be nothing but growth. No dips. No dips. You know what that is? That's a flat line. You know what a flat line is? Well, I mean, you could curve it up like that. You could rotate it so it curves up. But a flat line is a flat line is a flat line. That means there's no life. There's no evidence of life. That means you're not living. That means you're making your life a chore rather than a blessing, the blessing that it is, not just for you, but for all the people that you're so promised to interact with. You're so promised quite a few people. You would have specific interactions. So I'm totally I'm totally like recluse. I don't like to go out. I don't like to tell people to come over. I don't like to have parties. I don't like to go to parties. I barely like to go to the grocery store, and I don't make eye contact with anybody. I'm just very in my own world. You know what I mean? I'm very in my own world. And with that, that's how I lived for a very long time. Where I kind of just, I'm with my kids, and when I run errands, I'm focused on not losing any of my kids. And that's that. Could you imagine how many people would be missing out had I chose to continue hiding myself away? And I didn't suddenly step into public view because I was like, that's it. I'm going to be celebrity. I'm going to be publicly visible. I'm a public figure. Like, no, I had to have my spiritual arm twisted, severely twisted, in order for me to finally agree to be publicly visible. And I didn't feel like I had anything that was worthy of public view. It wasn't necessarily a lack of sense of self-worth. It was just like, everything that you guys witness me do, that is my norm. That is literally how I live. That's my norm. A few weeks back, maybe a month or two back, my husband and I, we got into the car, and he kind of has a half smile, and he's like, I think it's really cool that you're exactly the same way on a live stream as you are in person. I was like, really? Hey, well, when you know the person. So, I have to know you. I have to literally know you really well for me to open up to you the way that I do on live streams. You meet me in person, it don't matter how many live streams you've been with me. It does not matter if you see me as family. I'm probably not going to talk. I'm probably going to be very quiet, very, very reserved, very accommodating. That's just who I am. I'm not a show pony. This is who I am. And most people never saw these aspects of me because me in real life, if I don't know you, I'm not going to talk. Even if your ancestors are talking to me, I will not say anything to you. I will be very mute because I don't want to violate your privacy and your space. I don't want to make you feel weird or awkward in my presence. I don't want you to feel unsafe with me, so I'm just going to be quiet. How many people miss out? How many people miss out day to day to day because they have no idea the profoundness of my thoughts, the greatness of my abilities, and all of these other concepts. For me, there's nothing profound or great about my abilities or my thoughts. This is my norm. And just because you can appreciate yourself in your normal state does not mean it doesn't carry this innate gravity There are people waiting for you to step into your proper place, not just within your life, but within theirs as well. Within theirs as well. You are not just a gift to other people, you're also a gift for yourself, right? You are also a gift for yourself. Let that really sink in. It can't be giving everything to other people or expecting to receive everything from others without doing for yourself. It has to be this beautiful dance that you experience, one where you might be led, or you might be the leader. You might be the one that is choreographing everything, or maybe you're the one deciding for it to be a freestyle. This is a very important period in your life. Very, very important. Guidance. You're being guided into the next space. You are being guided into this space of, I guess you could call it extreme expansion. Extreme expansion. Ooh, I mean, that alone, that concept alone of being able to expand in an extreme manner and growth, and that's beautiful. Death. Death is a precursor to a new life. It does not have to be a literal death. It can be the death of your current mindset. It can be the death of your insecurities. It can be the death of imbalanced ego. All sorts of different types of endings can occur. You can totally, have a say in what it is that you allow to perish. It doesn't have to be the things that you need. Now, I think a lot of us struggle with that spiritual death simply because we have a tendency to want to hold on to the very things that our life, our soul is saying, girl, let that go. Let it go. Be your own Elsa. Sometimes you just got to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Imagination. It is what you tell yourself that creates the movement in your life. Ooh. Ooh, we allow yourself to really contemplate the gravity of what I just said. Really contemplate that. It is what you tell yourself that creates the movement in your life. When you talk to yourself, primarily in the past tense, you will continue to bring the past into your present. When you speak to yourself in the negatives, like you won't have this, you won't have that, instead of speaking into being what you do want, what you do know you deserve, you will only get the opposite of what you actually need to feel balanced, to feel amazing. The way you speak to yourself will greatly determine the way you manifest for your life. So speak kindly to yourself. Witch's hat, power in reverse. That reverse movement is kind of telling me that you're pulling your power back and you're putting it into your purse, I guess. Into your purse. So Ali B says the past is long gone. I digress. The past is still with you. It just can't be in front of the future. It can't be in front of the present. It's right there. The past stays with you. But you can't keep living in the past and bringing the past into your present. Right? My past stays with me in my heart, always. The good, the bad, the traumatic, the healing, that all stays with me. This is not about forgetting the history that you've been through. This is all about allowing that history to be the very thing that props you up, the very thing that can serve as a seat when you're tired. Some introspection into your history, immediate or recent history, um, long ago history. Those things will tell you how far you've come. It will tell you exactly how far you've traveled through your life. For me, I feel like I haven't really accomplished much still. Like, you know, there's still so many things that need to be done. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. I this, blah, 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 blah. And this whole entire stack of Google Sheets that are helping me to quantify exactly how much I have failed to not yet accomplish. Um, but when I look at my history, recent and long ago, girl, we've come so far. We've come so far. How dare you? How dare you? You can give so many people credit for moving an inch, and you've moved miles and mountains, and you can't even recognize this. How dare you? Speaking to myself, how dare I? Now, I don't see the need either to be like, "Oh, I've done this, 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 and this, and this." Like, applaud, please, applaud, recognize. I don't feel like that's necessary either. But this genuine, compassion-filled acknowledgement, that's necessary. That's necessary. Just a quick reminder. I became a CEO in a parking lot. That company is still thriving. I then became a president of a nonprofit in the midst of lack of direction, this feeling of a lack of purpose, and absolute confusion in my life. I'm not saying my life is bad. I'm saying it's time I recognize that's where I thrive. When you toss me into that chaos, I become the cosmos by simply a shift of perception. Chaos and cosmos is the same thing. Cosmos is just a more archaic way to describe it. From chaos comes order. From the cosmos, creation began to create. So, is your belief in yourself more about proving to other people? What are you trying to prove, though? I realize a lot of my belief in myself and a lot of the actions that came from that, it came from a need to prove to everyone else that I'm the same. I'm just like them. I'm just like you. Don't reject me. Don't criticize me. Don't reject me. Don't hurt my feelings. Don't point out that I'm different. I'm just like you. I'm just like you. I'm not like you. I stopped wasting so much of my time trying to prove that I'm just like everyone else. Because here's the thing, when I say I'm not like you, what I really mean is no one is like anyone else. We might have similarities, but we also have differences. And because those differences exist, that makes you unique. It doesn't just make you different, it makes you unique. And when we can begin celebrating the differences, becoming unified in our diversity, oh my gosh, the world starts to heal. We begin to become the change that we've been seeking, that we've been waiting for someone else to provide for us. Why do we wait for someone to provide the very thing our own hands can do for ourselves? Message to share. Okay, hold on. But it's in reverse. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so stagnation, inertia, lack of determination or direction, narrow-mindedness, idleness. Ooh, this is telling me that you're not giving yourself permission to move forward, to carry forward with your journey. This is telling me that you're only allowing yourself to go so far before you pull back. Have you ever gotten so close to manifesting something only for it to all fall apart right at the last minute? Did it fall apart because you failed, or did it fall apart because you believed in your failure more than your success? And at the last minute, you diverted all of your energy towards the manifestation of a failure rather than the continuation all the way through to that moment of success. Because I do that a lot. I do that quite a bit. Not as much now as I before. I'm learning to flow and learning to just allow things to manifest as is in alignment with my capacity and my need, you know? So you're being called out. Your soul is basically saying, knock it off. Your soul is saying, in technical terms, knock it off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be hurtful. I kind of did, but it was just a joke. Sorry. I will stop. I will behave. All right. This is not a good card. 10 of Swords. Ooh, I said we were going to stop. Oh my gosh. All right. So 10 of Swords in reverse. Benefit, profit, improvement, passing success, temporary favor, momentary advantage. Now, none of those things have to be temporary. None of those things have to be temporary at all. Yeah. You can make those things your norm. You can make success, you can make achievement your norm. You can. You can make it your norm. You can make it your long term. But Emmy, the cards say that it's just temporary. Yeah, because you're still in a temporary mindset. Durr. Durr. Yeah, when you begin to shift your mindset, the cards begin to shift as well. See, this is what I tell people. If I see future events, they're not set in stone. That's why I don't like to claim to be able to read the future. I have precognitive abilities, yes. By technicality, depending on which group you ask, I would technically be categorized as a prophetess. Can I tell the future? No, you have sovereign free will. For example, specific events were supposed to happen for me at the very last day of March. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And as much as I logically was ready, intellectually, I was mature enough and I could logically explain why I was ready. Emotionally, I am not. It's probably going to take me another month or two. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, I'll experience whatever I need to experience to kind of nudge me into that emotional level of maturity that's necessary to manifest this life altering event. It will happen when I'm ready. It will happen. I'm not in any rush. That event belongs to me. The benefits of what that event will create is mine. It's not some offer that expires. It is a component of my destiny. I don't need to rush. I need to prepare. I need to fall into a place of compliance emotionally. so that I can actually allow myself to receive this event. Yes, I still have some reservations as to how will it affect my life? Will I be able to handle that? Will I this? Will I that? Um, yes, I will. I just need time to blossom a little bit more in my emotions. You have two types of intelligence. Well, at least two types of intelligence. One is intellectual, the other is emotional. There's other types of intelligence, but we're not going to talk about those. um, when your intellectual intelligence far exceeds your emotional intelligence, it can create some hardship, internal hardship. It can create some delays, but delays are not cancellations. That's what we have to remember. A delay is not a cancellation. That event, that opportunity, it is not canceled, it's simply postponed. Don't worry. What's for you will always be for you. Ooh. King of Pentacles. Okay. King of Coins, an experienced and successful leader, a person of character and intelligence, business acumen, mathematical ability, reliable partner, wise investment, ability to acquire money and valuable possessions. Okay, see what I'm saying? You will succeed in whatever set your intention to acquire. You will when you're ready, when your maturity levels are where they need to be. Okay. And you might be like, well, I know quite a few people who have accomplished things and they are so immature. Well, they didn't really accomplish that. They're experiencing elevations in their human experience, quite possibly so they can fall real far and understand. We just don't know. We just don't know. If we look at Trump, I'm not a Trump supporter, nor am I a Trump hater. I don't like him very much as a person, but whatever. So we look at Trump, part of his history, which I don't know too much about. Didn't he file bankruptcy? He was like bankrupt for a while, right? He achieved big things and then he fell all the way down. I don't know why that makes me laugh. That's rude. Girl, don't laugh. I don't know. For some reason I thought it was funny. Okay. I don't know why. So he filed bankruptcy. He was bankrupt for a while, and people would have thought that he was just financially ruined. But that was the very thing that caused him to rebound, and he ended up sitting as a president. Sometimes what we as outsiders see as success for someone else is really a precursor for falling flat on your face, just like that. We don't know. The key here, what I'm trying to communicate is stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop using other people who have a different destiny and purpose than you as the barometer, the benchmark for you and your success. This might sound ego filled, but it's just a declaration of a fact. Everyone who made it their goal to be the next Emmy, that's a stupid goal. They failed at it. They failed. Why? Because I'm the shit? No. Because there's only one Emmy. There's only one me. When you use someone else as the benchmark for you, your growth, your success, your achievements, all of these different things, you will always feel like a failure because you will always be in a state of trying to keep up with someone else. Instead of that, why don't you walk beside me and be you? Recognize we're already equals. See, part of the reason why I can excel at things is because I'm not even competing with myself. I'm not wasting that energy. competing with anyone. There's that saying of, I'm my only competition. No, I love myself now. I'm not even competing with myself. There's no competition. There's just achievement and elevations in attempt. That's it. Shift it. Shift it 1 degree at a time. You don't got to crank anything, just shift it 1 degree at a time. It took me a very long time to get to this space where I don't have to tear myself down if I don't accomplish something in the way that I believe I should have. Because realistically, my expectations of myself is ridiculous. So ridiculous. It is. It is. And it's okay. Because those events, those experiences, those periods where I attacked myself, they helped me to learn how to actually love myself. They helped me to learn what I need is compassion from me more than I need compassion from other people. I had to learn I was using other people's situations to keep me so busy that I didn't have time to work on me. And that's okay. I'm learning from that. I'm growing beyond that. Ah, it's the Lover's card. Okay. The Lover's in reverse. Failure to meet the test, separation, frustration, interference, fickleness, unwise plans. Oh my God, there's a hummingbird. Oh, Jesus Christ. There was a hummingbird right outside the window, and all I saw was its shadow, and it was staring into the window. That was lovely. I like that. So, failure to meet the test. I'm wondering if you're taking the wrong test. Maybe that's not even a test you're supposed to take. Like, we'll use Louise L. Sexy for for an example here. Sorry, Louise. Miss L. Sexy was going to take the NCLEX. That is the nursing exam so that she can get her license. You can do it, girl. I'm so excited for you. Can I just say? The fact that you got to the point where you're preparing to take the NCLEX? That's an accomplishment all on its own. All on its own. Recognize that, please. So she's taken all this schooling to prepare herself to become a nurse. Would it be appropriate for her to take an OR tech test? That's obnoxious. Respiratory therapist tech? Why would she do that? All her training is to take the NCLEX. Would it be fair to expect her to, I forget the test that the doctors take. Should she do that test to prove? To prove what? That's not what you were preparing for. Why take those tests? Like, it's the equivalent of me saying, oh my God, I have an entire lifetime of education. I'm so medically inclined that I should be able to become a general contractor. Don't limit me. That's obnoxious. That's just obnoxious. I don't know anything about being a general contractor. No, I do, because I've built some furniture. I've built some furniture. I've built built-ins, okay? So I can be a general contractor. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. I can't. It's not because I'm incapable. It's because I'm not prepared to. That's not what my life was leading me towards. Yeah, I can build furniture. To me, it's easy. I can build furniture. General contracting is different. I don't know about any of that other stuff. I don't know about your structural da-da-da-da. I don't know about foundational. I don't know any of that. I can learn it. And if I devote parts of my existence into learning it, absolutely, I can be a general contractor. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no limits as to what you can become, but let's be realistic. You have to invest the time, the effort, the energy, the focus into becoming that. Into becoming that. Yeah, once upon a time, I could have challenged the board and taken the NCLEX without that BS degree. I could have. I absolutely could have. Like all my aunties were like, challenge the board, take the test. And I was like, but I didn't finish. I didn't finish any school. And they're like, you can do it. If you challenge the board and you pass the test, you get your license. And I was like, I don't want to be a nurse. That's just that. I don't want to be a nurse. But I had enough grooming my entire life to successfully challenge the NCLEX. I know I could have. I know I could have. But I didn't because that's not what I want to be. I love nurses. Don't get me wrong. I love nurses. Literally, all my family's nurses. They're all nurses and medical stuff. But I don't want to be that. I don't want to be told the limitations of what I can do for patients. That's why I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a doctor either. I've already come to terms. I would lose my license in the first month because I would be like, I don't give a shit about your liability. Keep working on the patient. I would. I would lose my license. Ace of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. All right. Change, erosion, instability, unrequited love, clouded joy, false heart, inconsistency. These are the list of things that you need to knock off. These are the list of things that you need to just stop. Okay? Stop. It's okay that you did that you experienced instability, that you did this and did that. That's okay. You don't have to vilify yourself for it. But you're going to reach a point, which I think it's approaching, where you need to recognize, stop it. You don't have to keep doing that. Ooh, mm-hmm. 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 Knight of Swords. Bravery, skill, the strength and dash of a young man, heroic action, impetus, rush into the unknown. So things are really going to be pushing forward. Things are going to push forward to the most elevated degrees. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to achieve, to accomplish, to just witness your life unfolding before you. Everything I've done, business-wise, work-wise, it's just unfolded in front of me. It's unfolded in front of me. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. There have been dips, there have been dark valleys, there have been extreme highs, there have been so many different things and so many different ways in which those experiences have changed me. I can honestly say I'm not the same person that I was even just a year ago. It's not to say that the person I was a year ago is less than the person I am today. And it's not to say that the person I am today is worse than the person that I was a year ago. Difference does not mean positive or negative. It means shift. It means change. It means growth. That's all it means. And it's a very, very beautiful, beautiful thing. Very, very beautiful, beautiful thing to allow yourself to simply witness the unfoldment of you and your growth. It's beautiful. Ocean Lover says, there are so many people who do not have degrees in a certain field or any degrees at all, yet can perform the tasks of a much better task much better than many who have degrees in that field. Yes? Yes. Yes. Whenever there's been some type of medical catastrophic something in my family, I am actually the one helping the doctors figure out the treatment plan. and I will question their authority, not in a disrespectful way, but in a way that will cause them to question, reassess, is this the appropriate approach? For example, my mother had a brain bleed. The neurologist, which is a specialist for the brain, wanted to do an exploratory procedure where they inject a radioactive dye into her body so that they can go ahead and scan her whole brain. They felt there was an issue with a circle of Willis, some sort of blockage, and that she might throw another clot. It's inoperable. And I'm like, have you spoken to the nephrologist, the specialist for the kidneys? Well, of course, the nephrologist is going to be protecting the kidneys. It's my job to protect the brain. Okay, how will that exploratory procedure change the treatment plan? Oh, well, ma'am, it won't. It's inoperable. Then why are you going to risk very high risk of permanent kidney failure just to confirm what you already suspect? Well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to understand your logic. Why would we expose the kidneys to radioactive dye that will kill her kidneys? She's already in kidney failure. They didn't do it. I'm like, I want you to have this conversation with me in front of the nephrologist. And if you're not going to do that, we're not going to consent to this procedure. There is no tangible reason outside of exploration for confirmation to have this procedure done. They didn't do it because after that, cardiologist came in, nephrologist came in, the whole freaking hospital came in, and they were like, that's not the right procedure. Thank you. Sorry, neurologist. You've been overridden. Stay at home mom. Sorry. Because it was at that meeting with literally the heads of all the departments. The neurologist looks at me. He goes, where did you do your residency? I was like, I didn't. He's like, aren't you a doctor in Colorado? Oh, no, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't know why you all think I'm a doctor. No, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And they all got quiet. Asking questions, allowing yourself to receive the answers, and thinking freely is powerful. Powerful. That's not the only thing, because you guys might be like, well, you were groomed for medical. Okay, I wasn't groomed for anything legal. Here I am having a very serious legal issue with a legal agreement that I entered into. Gave a lawyer a retainer. She advised me. And I was like, are you familiar with this civil code? She said, yeah. Can I use that civil code? But I mean, you would need this, this, and this. I'm willing to do that, that, and that, but I want to know from you, is it improper for me to use that civil code to terminate this legal agreement? Does it apply to me? It took her a while, and she's like, I mean, technically you could use it. Okay, let's use that. That protected me. I had a very abusive landlord who was entering the property without my consent and coming to the house multiple times a day to look for me, to chit chat with me. That's harassment. I utilized a civil code that named him as my abuser, because that's abuse. When you try and utilize your position of power to force interaction with me because you're attracted to me and I'm not interested in you, that's harassment. Fuck yeah, I use that civil code. And guess what? I terminated that lease that he refused to allow me out of so he could continue to punish me for not going to lunch with him. And he wanted to try and sue me afterwards. Guess what? That's further proof of your abuse of me, your abuse of tenant law. Try it. And give me back my deposit. Gave me back my deposit, let me out of the lease, can't do shit to me. Why? Smart. There was no lawyers that told me about this clause, this law that exists to protect me. Fuck yeah, it took me several hours to find that shit. I kept going in circles, looking at all sorts of legal literature. But I'm not stopping until I find a solution that is acceptable to me and my situation. I will not bend law. I will utilize that shit. And that's why I hired a lawyer. Not to find the solution, but to let me know if what I find is applicable. And that's it. That's it. I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking about properly utilizing your voice, your capacity to understand. These people who serve in these professions know more than you simply because they devoted X amount of years memorizing more than you. Doesn't make them better. No. It just means they've been exposed to that content longer. That is it. Do not see yourself as less than just because you don't have the paper on the wall. You're not less than. And I have no shame letting people know I'm a stay-at-home mom. Because I am. I'm a stay-at-home mom. All right, judgment. Mm-hmm. 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 Decisions pending finality, the only decision that can be made under circumstances. So it's in reverse. This wasn't the only decision that could be made. All the options were weighed in. Okay? All the options were considered. A decision is being made. Let's see if this decision is going to be in your favor. And in return, the lawyer learned some new things. Yes. Let me say that lawyer, amazing. She made sure to protect me. She gave me a lot of input. Yeah. And just to kind of further illustrate how committed I am to loving myself and defending myself at this point. So he ended up getting a liability defense lawyer in response to a termination of a lease agreement. Why wouldn't you get a tenancy lawyer, real estate lawyer? Why are you getting a liability defense lawyer? So his lawyer spoke to my lawyer, and they wanted to come up with some sort of legal agreement, non-disparaging agreement, non-disclosure agreement, and that's contingent. That's what I have to agree to that. I have to agree to that in order to receive my deposit. I'm not agreeing to shit. No. You're giving me my deposit back, or you're going to be named in a lawsuit. If you are also using legalities to abuse me, you will be named in a lawsuit as well. I'm not agreeing to shit. I'm a public fucking speaker, and I will speak my truth. If I need to tell this story that I lived through using facts, I will. You will not shut me up. You will not tell me what I can and can't talk about in my life. Oh, and they also said that in order for me to not be at risk of small claims court, that I would need to, on paper, admit that I falsified a police report. Fuck you. I'm not going to admit that I'm a liar when I'm not. No. Sue me. I don't give a shit. And that's how that ended. I said, fucking sue me. Sue me in small claims court. Not only will I win that, I'm going to make this into a massive civil lawsuit. Harass me. Just crazy enough to do it. I'm just crazy enough to do it. Harass me. And I didn't sign shit. I didn't sign shit. You got the keys back. House is in pristine order. I'm not signing shit. You will not intimidate me into just so you can go away. I've been dealing with you for 6 months. Let's take it all the fucking way to civil court. Let's go all the fucking way. And so they stopped. And so they stopped. Yes, Teresa. I did end up doing a background check on, and there were quite a few assets. So last I checked, it still hasn't reached statute of limitations. We'll see. We'll see. So card number 34, unconditional love in reverse. We have to get to a place where this is right side up. Okay? We have to get to a place where our unconditional love is right side up, and we can allow ourselves to receive love from ourselves as well as from other people. It's important to receive both from myself as well as from all of you guys. All of you guys really tremendously helped me to understand it's okay for me to receive. It's okay for me to begin allowing you to help, to encourage, to empower, and not be afraid of what do you want after. You know, I mean, when you live through so much trauma in life, uh, for some, you begin to have this mindset of people will only help you if they can hold it over your head later. And if I accept your help, then you own me in some way. And no, you guys helped me so, so much to truly understand and accept there are people just like me that exist who help because it feels right to help. There's no ulterior motives. There's no plans. There's no plotting. You're just helping because you're a good person. And it's a beautiful thing to finally exist in a space where I am surrounded by reflections of my own heart. And here's the thing. I would have never gotten to that place had I not found the courage to first be a projection of it. If you continue to hide yourself, you will never find yourself in the environment that you belong in because people don't know who you are. And if they don't know who you are, they can't treat you appropriately. And now people know who I am. Several years I've spent being salty, being attitudey. That's okay. That is a part of me. It's not all of me, though. And I'm now at a point where I'm exiting the salty and attitudey. That's still there. I'm not going to hide it, but it doesn't need to be showcased all the time. I've already shown I'm capable of that. If people want some, I'll decide if I want to serve some. I'll decide that. Probably no, because I'm busy. Probably no. But if I ever decide to, yeah, absolutely. That's there. That's there. I can utilize that if I need. Do I need? Probably not, because I'm more focused on achieving than I am on simply mitigating all of the trolls and the drama in front of me. Like, no, I'm good. That's not my focus. That's not going to enter into my life anyways. So I don't need to address that. I need to address the things that need to be addressed, which is what? Achievement. No, it's not just about money. Achievement also encompasses healing, self-healing. I want to achieve a level of self-healing where even more of my trauma responses are neutralized and I can feel even more at peace. Thank you, Moonrock. So Moonrock is encouraging you guys, and I am too, to go ahead and write me a letter. Go to soulworksynergistics.com. There is a section. It's a Dear Emmy section. If you have questions, maybe you're going through something. Maybe you want some guidance right over there. You can be anonymous. There's a way to select being anonymous. And if you choose to be anonymous, I can read your question on air and answer that question, give my opinion, and it hopefully will help you and any other people who are going through the same type of circumstance as you. Go over to the Dear Emmy section on the Soulwork Synergistics. You just scroll a little bit and you'll see Dear Emmy. It's a form. You just submit that. I want to be able to give back to my community. You guys are my community. I want to be able to give back to my community in the most constructive way. And if the most constructive way is by simply giving my opinion on a circumstance so that you can have clarity, since I'm not emotionally invested in it, beautiful. I would love for you to see with clarity all the different options that are laid before you. I mean, granted, it's not my place to decide what you should do, but to be able to share with you with clarity these different options that you have, and then to free you to be able to choose for yourself, what do you want to explore? That's an honor to me in my heart. Truly, truly an honor. Card number 12, emotions. Don't allow your emotions to serve in a way they're not intended to. So the emotions can be the delivery method for the messages of your soul. Okay. The emotions are not to rule you. They're not meant to be the thing that dictates how your life will go. No, they're meant to help you receive these messages in a far more nuanced way. Okay. In a far more beautifully nuanced manner. Oh, card number 10, compassion in reverse. You better start being more compassionate with yourself. You better. You better start being more compassionate with yourself. Allow yourself to just pause. Allow yourself to encourage yourself. Excuse me. This is so necessary. You need compassion from self way more than you need compassion from other people. That's not to say compassion from other people isn't necessary. That's also beneficial. But compassion from yourself, for yourself, is so important. When you live your life externalized, where people have to validate you, people have to encourage you, people have to be compassionate towards you, patient with you, all of these other things where it's everyone else that has to do this for you. You live your life at the mercy of other people's opinions. You want to truly be free? Be your own source of peace, love, and joy. Be your own source so that when other people join you in that space of peace, in that space of love, it's just additional cherries on your cake. It's a beautiful thing. Who said you only needed one cherry on your cake? You don't. You can have an entire layer of cherries up there. You could put cherries in the cake. You can be soaked in cherry flavor. What am I trying to say? There's no limits as to the amount of love you generate for yourself, spread through your environment, and then allow yourself to receive from your environment. That's where I'm at in my life. It's a beautiful, beautiful existence. It is. And it's this thing of like, I don't even feel like I'm working. You know, I feel like I'm just a very busy person, but I don't feel like it's a job and I'm burnt out and this. No, I don't feel that at all. I feel like whenever I have private sessions, whenever I'm on a public live stream, I'm just talking to my family. I'm talking to my friends. I'm talking to my people, my village, my tribe. I mean, from someone who's never felt at home anywhere, never felt accepted, never felt welcomed, always felt like I stuck out like a broken thumb, not a sore thumb, a broken one, dislocated and broken. To finally reach the space of like, my people, y'all are my people for real. For real. It's beautiful. It helps me to understand I'm reaching elevations in my self healing journey. I deserve to heal so that I can better assist other people in their healing. It's a beautiful, beautiful circle. You know, it's not one needing or receiving more than another. It's a beautiful reciprocal exchange, this beautiful flow. As I give, all of you rush to fill me back in. And as I become so full, I give even more. And then you fill me even more. I'm getting goosebumps. I love it. This is how we all should live. This is literally our destiny. You're watching our collective destiny unfold in my personal life. It's unfolding in my personal life in advance of the collective, just so you can see what we are working towards. Not because I deserve more, not because I'm favored, but because you need to be able to see, what are we working towards? This is what we are working towards. How many of you feel at home when you come here? How many of you? And, how many of you have shared with me your belief, like, Emmy, you give so much. You're live streaming every day. When do you rest? And it's this thought of, first off, I'm Pinay, I'm Filipina. In our culture, family doesn't have to call you before they come over. They just don't. When you get the knock on the door and it's family, you got to let them in. You got to cook. You got to stop what you're doing. You got to cook. You got to make sure, like, hey, what's up? Or come on in. Hey, it's not like American culture where I have to text you first before I can call you. And when I call you, then I have to ask, when can you schedule me in? No, my culture is like, you knock on my door, I got to let you in. I got to let you in. I got to cook for you too. And that's just that, right? So how could I ever not show up unless something serious is happening? Unless I really am unable to? How could I not show up when you show up every day? It's mutually beneficial, mutually respectful, reciprocal love that we have in this environment. How could I not? No, no. You tell me I show up every day. You show up every day too. Give yourself credit for that. We're building this online community where we're finally being free to be the sovereigns that we are, recognized as we are, valued as we are. And this is what we are working towards in our personal life. That's what this reading is about, bringing your awareness to what you are working towards. These shifts will occur no matter what. The changes will come forward no matter what. Don't you want to at least control to some degree the way that change, that shift will be expressed in your life? And no, we cannot control everything, but we absolutely can control whether that shift and change will be experienced in a positive manner or a negative one. It's up to us. So let me give you an example. Archangel Michael thought it would be lovely to make me feel like I have to evac out of Texas, re-enter Colorado. He made it seem like some serious bad stuff is going to happen in Texas. So we left Texas and we entered Colorado. Colorado's all mountains. It's all mountain. In order to enter and leave, you have to go through mountains. So we entered into Colorado. He thought it would be amazing to break my brakes on my RV. He broke my brakes. Nothing I could do. Brand new, just serviced brakes. He broke them intentionally to strand me in a parking lot for 5 months. Technically, the term for that is called homelessness. That's what it's called. I didn't see myself as homeless. I didn't feel homeless. I felt irritated that it was inconvenient. Yeah, it was annoying, inconvenient. But was it a bad experience? It was really amazing. For me and my whole family, it was really amazing. My children still, to this day, sometimes they'll say, I miss our RV adventures. It was so peaceful. They don't realize we were homeless. Not because we lied to them. I mean, how are you going to hide that? You can't hide that. We're in a parking lot. But it wasn't a negative thing. It was an experience, a rich one at that. We chose not to experience that in a negative manner. It was just so fun and so free. It wasn't the most positive because it was inconvenient, we were stuck, but we made that decision. As the matriarch of my family, I made that decision that this is not going to be a negative thing. And because I am the matriarch, that flowed through my entire family. How many of you are simply a mom? Because you don't have to just be a mom. You're being invited right now to step into the role of matriarch. That's above a mother. That's basically a goddess in flesh, where you can see and feel the gravity. You are aware of the trajectory. You're also aware that you are merely an arrow being pulled back in preparation for being launched forward. It's a very beautiful thing to be able to be honest with yourself about your situation, but to also be empowered in that. What type of work do you have to do for yourself to enter into that state where you are not in denial of the gravity of your situation, nor are you willing to allow yourself to be disempowered by that acknowledgement, that realistic understanding and acceptance of the situation? It's amazing. It's amazing. It is difficult to get to that place, but it's not impossible. Card number 6, you're going to have something to celebrate. You're going to have so many different things to celebrate. So many different things. It's coming very, very soon. You're about to get the word balance. You're being guided to reestablish balance in your life. Okay. The most efficient, the most powerful way to have balance in your life is to find your place of center. A lot of spiritual people teach balance, 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 right? Balance is important. But here's the thing, if your goal is merely balance, you will forever be wasting in a very inefficient manner all of your energy, time, and focus in your effort to balance. So what's the solution? Finding your place of center. When you find your place of center, excuse me, you become aware of where it is. When you get nudged from center, you know where to return back to. By virtue of being in center, you're naturally balanced. Zero effort for balancing. Zero effort. So when you're not accustomed to using your center of gravity, knowing where it is, if you were going to do tight walking, you're going to struggle. You're going to keep, but once you begin to learn where your center of gravity is, much less struggle. One of the best examples of this is learning how to ride a bike. At that first time, yeah, guys, if you have things that you hear me say that really just, oh my gosh, fell out of form on my Soulwork Synergistic site, send it to me and we'll go ahead and we'll create a graphic and be able to use it. I can't watch these live streams every day, yo. I can't go back looking for quotes. And plus, I want the quotes that I post to be what empowers you. I want your thoughts, your opinions. I want you to see how much other people resonate with what you resonate with. Just saying. Oh, so the best example of center versus balance is when you learn to ride a bike. In the very beginning, before you learn the center of your gravity, you're like wiggly, 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 right? When you learn your center of gravity, you no longer have to balance. You just do. And you never not know how to do that again. You can be a little bit wobbly if you haven't ridden a bike in a long time or a new bike, but you never actually forget that. So your goal is not to balance. Your goal is to find your center point. Shine. It's time for you to shine, baby boo. Just shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Shine. And if people don't like it, shine brighter so they look away. It's not your job to shield their eyes. They can shield their eyes or they could avert their gaze. You know what I'm saying? Shine brighter. Okay? This is what I've learned. I make you uncomfortable because I shine. I'm going to shine brighter in all the places. I'm going to shine so bright and it's going to make you more uncomfortable to the point where you either just embrace the discomfort so you can keep staring. That's okay. Or you look away, but you're going to have to choose because I'm not going to dim nothing no more. That's just that. I'm not going to dim anything. Card number 36, worlds within worlds. So your internal world, excuse me, is about to become external. All of these amazing things that you've been hiding within yourself, it's about to exit that cage of confinement. Be ready. All of these things that you thought you could forever hide, you can't. I'm laughing because I have a right to laugh. I have a right to laugh because the longest time I felt like I was the only one who wasn't allowed to hide myself anymore. And I felt it was very unfair. And I was a little bit mildly, sort of, kind of heavily bitter about it. And now I'm like, good. Very good. I'm not the only one that has to show myself. Very, very good. So, yeah, people are waiting for you to exit that hiding space. I'm waiting for you to. Card number 25, patience. Patience is gone. It's dead. Creation says now, now, now. Now, now, brown cow. Don't be a heifer. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll behave. The time is now. You've been hiding yourself long enough, and the time for you to exit out of those places, it's now. There's no more delaying it, okay? Transformation in reverse. This is so important. Card number 33. Transformation in reverse. Why is this so important? It's in reverse. I'll tell you. You've already been transformed. You just haven't been willing to see it yet. In these past 2 years, you were in the process of transforming. You're already transformed. You were a while ago. You just needed time to accept that you're a different person, more in alignment with your purpose, your path. The gravity of why you're here is being presented to you right now. You're worthy in this moment, not after you become someone else. You are worthy in this moment. You are capable in this moment. It's amazing. It's amazing that you're finally being asked to accept that you have always been enough. And now you have to begin choosing to live your life as though you are. I don't think creation is asking for too much. I don't think creation is asking for too much. For you to simply be who you are, that takes no effort. No, you don't have to modify your words. No, you don't have to become someone else, style yourself like someone else. You don't, no. The person you are right now, whatever you're wearing, yeah, do me a favor. Describe the outfit that you're wearing. Have you done your hair or your makeup? How long has it been since you showered? How long? Did you shower today? Did you change out of jammies today? Do you have makeup smeared? As you are right now, you are more than enough. See what I'm trying to say? You see what I'm trying to say? You don't have to get all dolled up. If you want to, that's okay. It's amazing. For some, that's a form of self care. There's nothing wrong with getting dolled up. There's nothing wrong with not getting dolled up. For some of us, our self care is more internalized. Both are valid. You are valid. You are enough. Right now, not next week, not tomorrow, not after you get a different job, not after you move, not after you save enough, not after you start a new business, not after you finish school. You are enough right now. Right now, literally right now. Mm, mm. I love that. I love that. Card number 21, Mirrored Souls. Mirrored Souls. Louise says, my dusty ass is valid. Boo. Dusty rose is a pop in color. I'm just saying. In addition, you're not dusty. You're not dusty, okay? You're not dusty. That's a faux finish. People pay extra for that. That's what I tell myself. That's what I tell myself. Okay. When my hair is all like ratted out like this, and I didn't even fix my hair. I brushed it and I tucked it behind my ear. Thank God for this gorgeous little wave that's happening. But I totally was like, girl, people pay extra for that. They pay extra for that, okay? I was beating myself up the other day over my cheeks. I was just like, "Oh my god. I gotta stop with my food. Like, I gotta go back to my diet." It's not even a diet, it's my lifestyle. And then I was like, "Girl." I was looking in the mirror. I know I have crazy conversations with myself. I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, "Girl, we need to look up how much those injections cost." Not because I'm gonna get them, but so I could understand people pay extra for this fat. They pay extra to graft their fat. And I'm over here bashing myself. I'm like, people pay for this, girl. Just appreciate. Appreciate. Just leave it there. Appreciate it. It makes you look younger. Just leave it. Don't hate on it. Leave it alone. Appreciate it. If you guys could totally have these types of conversations with yourself where you can truly, genuinely acknowledge there is someone who exists that pays for that feature that you don't like. I have a weird life, okay? I have had the weirdest relationship with my eyes for a long time. Um, okay. Sometimes I will feel like they are too slanted up. Sometimes I feel like they're not big enough. Sometimes I feel like they're too big. It's just this weird relationship with my eyes. One of my former sister-in-laws, she went and had eye surgery. And I went and saw her after the surgery. She was already in recovery. We're just kind of chatting and stuff, chatting about life. The heifer told me, I love her though. She told me she brought a picture of me into her surgeon's office and asked the surgeon to recreate my eyes. And I was like, you did what? And she goes, yeah. Why are you telling me this? I got scared for a second. I was like, why are you telling me this? Like, you did what? You, girl, can you get a refund? Your eyes don't look like mine. I was like, you don't look like me, girl. Is it because of the swelling? I was like, is it because of the swelling? We don't look the same. I was like, why would you do that? What? She goes, are you offended? I said, no, I'm just weirded out. Like, why would you do that? Um, she just likes my crease. I was like, oh, okay. 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 You just wanted the crease. Oh, I can come to terms with that. I can come to terms with that. That's okay. That's not weird. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. And then she was literally concerned after that. She didn't expect me to respond like that. She thought that I would be flattered. And I was like, no, sis, that's not flattering. That's just weird. It's weird. But I love you. You know, we've been weird this whole time, anyways. It's fine. It's fine. You know, I've also had, it's just weirdness, you guys. I don't like my breasts. I don't. I don't hate them, but I would love to be like a full B cup. B is good. B, or not even, maybe even a not so full B. You don't need a bra with a B cup. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I would love that. I would love to be able to jump without like getting hit in the face with my boobs. I would love to be able to lay down and not feel like I'm being choked by my chest. You know what I'm saying? But I have at least 3 women who they went to their surgeon and they requested my boob cup. I mean, if you like that size, that's okay. For me, I don't like that size on me. I just don't. Nothing ever really fits right. And no, they're not perky. I'm over 40, yo. I'm over 40. My nipples are holding a conference with my belly button. It's okay. Okay, I'll stop. I'm just saying they're friends. The nipples and the butt are friends. And they have conversations daily. Going back to the reading mirrored souls. I'm so sorry. I'm having a fabulous day. Mirrored souls. I gotta stop. It's out of hand. It's out of hand. I'll stop. I'll stop. I promise. I'll stop. I'll stop. Louise. Oh my god. Oh my god. I because you okay, I have to stop. Okay, mirrored souls. So usually this means like twin flame stuff. Now, we're going to do it as a representation of the people who mirror the goodness in you. They mirror the goodness in you. They mirror your potentiality. We all have people like this in our lives. And you have to allow those people to serve the purpose they're meant to serve, which is what? A divine mirror. Being able to see yourself existing outside of yourself. It's a very powerful thing. All right. Let's go with Kuan Yin. Yeah, we're all safe here. Yeah, I'm just saying. So like before, when I was still nursing, it would be like a full, they had a fullness to them. And now that I'm completely done nursing, I have biological wind socks. It's okay. So it's not as bothersome anymore because they're not full anymore. But it was very bothersome. Absolutely. It would um, misalign my ribs, like because of the bra and the weight of the boobs. It would misalign my ribs. And then I still have dents in my shoulders. I think those are probably permanent at this point. Dents in my shoulders from the bra. Yeah. It was insane. It was insane. Yeah. There is I'm sorry, my personal opinion, there was absolutely nothing cute about triple G cup. That's not cute. That's not cute. You look like a pair of boobs with legs. It's your entire that's what you are. You're walking boobs. That's what you are. That's what it felt like. I was just walking boobs. So I don't have the same type of perception as other people when it comes to like the romanticizing and sexualizing of the breast. For me, I have breasts to feed my children, to feed newborns. So, yes, yes. Let's read the last card. Card number 3, Blossoms of the Sky Dancer. Kuan Yin dances creative energy and light across the sky, causing blossoms to descend. In the same way, when we tap into our spiritual power of creation, we cause life in all of us, all life around us to bloom. Creation is a natural and spiritual power within you. Force can slow down the process, so don't force anything, don't rush anything. It's time to stop striving and to allow your manifestation to occur. Trust, let go, allow your creation to flow. Ooh, this is so in perfect alignment of what this reading is about. Kuan Yin is a being of divine feminine power. She dances with the sky, the heavenly powers of inspiration, and as a result, life blooms around her. Kuan Yin brings you guidance that you are creating something important right now, something that is aligned with heavenly forces and light. That is significant for the path of spiritual awakening on this planet. Whether you are fully conscious of it or not, it is happening. Your spiritual light is flowing into the physical plane with the intention to manifest certain life situations and circumstances. Your energy already carries this intent. It already is doing this, whether you're cognitive or not. These manifestations are in accordance with your spiritual path, and Kuan Yin will support you in their manifestation with her sky dance, which calls a divine light of inspiration and support into earthly creation, so that we can experience the divine in form here on earth. The way of the sky dancer Kuan Yin is a yin way, or the way of divine magnetism. Yin power is the consciousness and beingness that allows us to draw into our lives that which we desire. We become attractive to it: wealth, well being, peace, passion, purpose, friendship, support, success, and so on, rather than going out and striving for it as though we don't have it within us already. We can grow into our ability to simply be and become simultaneously until we experience it physically in our lives. It's only a matter of time until it happens. To cultivate yin power to allow creation to manifest in your physical reality, you can focus more on allowing, flowing, surrendering, and participating in the greater flow, rather than the usual ways in Western culture of doing, making things happen, forcing, intending, and holding. This is about shifting your mindset from this lacking mindset that would cause you to feel like you have to force it because you're not worthy of it naturally. You have to sell it. You have to buy it. You have to create and force. And no, this is about the recognition. This exists within you. And you're simply in the process of allowing it out, allowing it to manifest outside of you. The worlds within worlds card in reverse. What is inside is now being projected outside. The life you deserve is waiting for you to step into it. The life you deserve is waiting for you to step into it. So step into it. Kuan Yin guides you now to balance doing with being. Beingness is presence, it's appreciation, it is joyful stillness and wonder. It's the realization within that you are a spiritual magnet, and whatever you want to attract, you can. Simply by cultivating the qualities you seek to experience externally within you. She guides you to sky dance with her now, to become receptive to heavenly energies, and to allow the manifestations to bloom like flowers falling from her divine feet. Ooh, ooh, mm. Creation just stepped up its game. It is no longer simply asking for you to show up. It's requiring you already be. Luckily, there's no effort in being. And as you be yourself, as you be who you are, you also enter into a simultaneous state of becoming. Becoming. Being and becoming can happen simultaneously, synergistically. Being and becoming. The ebb and flow of the ocean of your life. Would you ever go to a beach and expect the ocean water to not come in waves, that it has to be a straight line forward, a straight line back? Would you ever go to the ocean, the seashore, the shoreline, and expect that? That would be unrealistic, right? That would, I would say that would even be obnoxious, right? To have that type of expectation. That's how your life and your growth occur, through ebbs and flows. This reaching closer for you while also simultaneously in a different location, pulling back, creating space, cleansing, washing, like, ooh, life is so ridiculously beautiful. It's beautiful in a way that we don't expect. It's beautiful in a way that redefines our concept of beauty, but only if we're willing to. It's only if we are willing to redefine our definitions that we begin to redefine the way we see ourselves. I am perfect as I am, not as perfect as defined. Mhm. I am perfect as I am, not as perfect is defined. Are you aware that every however many generations, words are redefined? Are you aware that once upon a time, newborns, pink was for baby boys, blue was for baby girls. And what's it now? It's been switched. Did you know that for much of our history, you look at esoteric texts, you look at ancient writings, even some not so ancient writings, they describe the world as a flat plane. And then a few generations back, it was then shifted into a globe. I'm not interested in the debate of flat earth or not. I'm simply using that as a way to illustrate the way we as a collective empower definitions through our participation and belief in them. When you stop believing the definition of a word as is created by someone else, you start empowering yourself to really begin understanding you've been living your life based on someone else's perception. Perfection, as it's defined right now, is unattainable and not sustainable. It's not sustainable. If you can manage to achieve that, you cannot sustain it long term. Why? Because you were never meant to. Perfection, as we have it defined right now, is nothing but a lie. It's a lie. It's something that keeps you, excuse me, entranced with this concept of you have to work harder, you have to do more, you have to buy more, you have to own more, you have to more, 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 more. And I'm over here and life's perfect as it is. Do I have a lot? Do I have enough? Yeah. Well, what's your definition of enough? Enough. Like, so what tax bracket are you in? Who cares? Who cares? I never go hungry, neither do my kids. We pay our bills. It's enough. It's enough. I don't need to compare to someone else. If I have enough to take care of my family and take care of other families, it's enough. For me, it's enough. And when I have more, I can take care of more, and that will also be enough. And when I have less, I'll get more creative in how to take care of others. That's also enough. I'm not in a state of lacking, I'm in a state of acceptance. I accept where I am, knowing I will not stay here forever. And if it's something that's uncomfortable, I will need to begin coming to terms with a decision to leave sooner rather than later. And if it's something that's comfortable, I will need to be cognitive that this eventually will change. So I am going to choose to enjoy this for as long as I'm here. And always, it is enough. It's enough. Because I'm enough. Life is enough. It's just enough. So I hope you guys find that center space of knowing you are enough. Your contribution to this world is profound. Your value is profound. Your purpose, whether you know it or not, is profound. And when you're ready, you will live up to that purpose. When you are ready, you will have all these answers that you think you need right now that seem to elude you, seem to hide from you. They're not hiding, they're buried in your truth. And when you're afraid to deep dive into yourself, you then enter into this space of thinking, feeling, you don't know what you're doing. Yes, you do. You're doing everything, including your life, in the way it's meant to be done. Might not make sense, but I promise you, everything had to happen the way it did, the good and the bad. Allow your life to shift now. Okay? Allow your life to shift. So I'm going to share this with you guys. Thank you, Moonrock, for writing this again. If you'd like to write to me to have an answer or guidance of some kind, simply go to soulworksynergistics.com, scroll down and look for the Dear Emmy portion, and that will log your question in. If you want to remain private, you have the option of letting me know that you want it to remain anonymous. I'll still read your question. No one has to know your identity. And, hopefully it gives you the guidance that you need, the clarity that you're seeking. And hopefully doing that for you will empower whoever else is going through the same thing. It's super important that we really focus on not just changing our lives, but allowing the changes within us to positively impact other people as well. It's so important. It's part of the gift that we are to other people and part of the gift that other people are for us. Okay? Share more of yourself, release more of that shame and guilt. There's nothing about you that you need to hide. I'll share one last story. There was this girl that I knew. I knew her since she was fairly young in her adulthood, right? I think she was like 18 or 19 when I met her. She's a model that I worked with. And I just have so much love for her. I ended up, our relationship blossomed, and she ended up seeing me as a mom, and I ended up referring to her as my daughter. She's been through a lot in life. She has. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Not just aesthetically pleasing, but a beautiful heart. Beautiful heart. One day, a mutual friend came to me and said, "Yeah, she used to be an escort." Okay. Why are you telling me this? Because apparently he needed me to know that that's her history. Okay. We all have a history. So why are you telling me this? What is your intent? And I didn't wait for an answer. I immediately went to her and I said, "Hey, this person is saying this about your history. I don't care if it's true or not. You're my daughter and I love you. I just want you to know this person is being disrespectful with you. They're out of my life. I don't care what your history is. I see the beauty you are. I see how amazing you are. I see your potential. I see who you are right now. I don't care what you've been through. It led you to this place. It led you to me. My only concern is that I love you enough, especially in the times you need it the most. Whatever you've been through, that's a part of your history. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of it." I see that as something where it's like, wow, you went through some stuff. I'm sure you carry a lot of, maybe regret, whatever it is. It's a lot to deal with at a very young age. Um, I hope you see that it adds to you as a person. The fact that you can be so loving and so open and be so strong at the same time, and also have this fragility about you. It's a beautiful thing. I see you as a whole being, a totality. You are a totality. You're no longer this duality. When you stand in my presence, I see you as a whole being, and I see greatness in you. This applies to all of you, all of you. Okay? Don't ever allow your history to shame you from your present. For many of us, what we experience in our history is the very thing that created the present person that you are. And I won't lie to you. If I think you are a horrible person, you will have zero questions of what I think about you. I'm not going to go around talking about you, but you won't have any questions as to where you stand with me. So when I say I think you're amazing, when I say I think you are enough, that's what I really mean. It's not a line to make you feel better about yourself. I don't need to make you feel better about yourself because I don't see any reason why you shouldn't feel amazing about who you are to begin with. Join me in that space of how I see you. When you look in the mirror today, see what I see. Quite possibly for the first time, I hope that you see what I see every time you share this space with me. I got to get going. Sessions are starting. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. I hope that this reading reaches whoever needs to hear it. Share this out, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube. Share it out. Share it out to whoever you think needs to hear something in this video. And if you need to watch it again to remind yourself, watch it as many times as you want. Watch it as many times as you need. We all need a reminder every once in a while. Bookmark this video. Let it be the reminder whenever you feel as though you are insignificant and not enough. Watch it again. Watch it over the years and see how your life unfolds. I really, truly believe you are more than enough. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Join me tomorrow. I don't know if I'll go live later today to do readings. For sure, I'll be live tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join me for church. I'll see you guys again.